What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well out there. It has been a while since I've made a video, a few months, I think, at this point. And in that time, long story short, cut to the chase, I have picked up an injury. So at the time of recording, this video is actually only 2 days out from the marathon I've been training for since essentially December, with a bit of a different approach to the very front end of the training block. Where, if you have seen the past couple videos, you know that I ran a 5K at the beginning of January. So the beginning portion of this training block was, 5K specific, all focused on speed, and it was going extremely well. Had a massive personal best in the 5K, transition then to about 10 weeks of marathon specific training, and things were really, really going well. This felt like the training block where I sort of had the best balance I've ever had, not just in terms of different aspects of my training, but also balancing, pretty decent volume of training on a weekly basis with my life related obligations. But with that balance, obviously, you can't keep all the different things you're juggling in the air all the time. Sort of making videos about said training fell to the wayside a bit, and that would sort of explain the extended absence I've had from my upload schedule. Either way, things were going extremely well. I was knocking out, 75 to 80 mile weeks on a regular basis with, 20, 21, 22 mile long runs. And everything was pretty good. It was overall, I would say, a rather conservative training block, trying to just be consistently good and not hammer anything out of the park. And about 3 weeks ago from yesterday, so 3.5 weeks out from the race itself, I started to feel in the middle of a pretty bread and butter threshold workout that I do on a repeated basis throughout marathon training blocks, a bit of discomfort in my lower left leg, sort of around the upper Achilles, lower calf region. And I did the smart thing, which I usually don't do. I usually just run through discomfort, and I actually cut that workout short completely. Didn't run again for the rest of the day after intending to do a double later that day. Took things easy for another day or so and got back into easy running without really any discomfort. And then a few days later, during my long run, got through probably about 10 miles without any pain or discomfort, and found that that pain was surfacing again. So that was supposed to be my peak marathon workout 3 weeks out from the race. Had to cut it short at 14 miles. And, the next day I woke up and just going up and down the stairs was extremely painful. And the pain had migrated away from what I thought was initially an Achilles overuse type of injury to some pretty intense calf pain. And I took it easy for another week or so. Got back into a few easy runs towards the end of the week, and 13 days out from the marathon, decided to sort of put one more long run effort in, a pretty safe, conservative 2x10K, which on its face doesn't sound like a low intensity workout, but just sort of marathon effort, wanted to get into that gear. Got through the first 10K rep fine, but ultimately at the beginning of the second 10K rep, that pain resurfaced and felt worse than it had at any point. And I sort of hobbled back to my car for the last couple miles. And that day, which was 13 days out from the marathon itself, about a week and a half ago at this point, was the last day that I have run since. So this is the longest break from running I've ever taken. I am 2 days out from this marathon, and at this point, I tried to put it off as long as I could. I am officially calling it, because just walking around, I still notice that pain a little bit, and I've done a few little test jogs while, just walking the dog or just doing normal everyday life stuff, and it is still present in there. And I just don't want to set myself back even further, because I hate taking time off of running. I've taken 10 or 11 days off now at this point, and it's still there. So I am not interested in making things any worse. And I think like ambling through painfully a full 26.2 miles would not be the best thing for me when it comes to getting this thing figured out and being able to proceed, through the rest of the spring and the summer and start to like lay a decent foundation for my intentions in the fall, which is to run a marathon. So, long story short, yeah, that was kind of short story long, actually. I will not be running the Salisbury Marathon here in just 2 days. Sorry to those who are hoping for a comeback to this YouTube channel with an awesome like race vlog and recap of a marathon personal best. That is certainly what I wanted. If you've been following along on Strava, this does not come to as a surprise, probably because you've probably been seeing that I've exclusively been biking for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, and yeah, things have not been ideal as of late, but want to make sure they are ideal in the near future. So just making the safe call here. Speaking of Strava, if you want a more sort of like consistent look at my training, that's probably the place to go. The link is down in the description if you want to follow along over there. It's not very exciting at the moment because it's just a bunch of bike rides. So if you're looking for running stuff, I am not currently equipped to give you that. So that's okay for the time being, just a small setback and we'll be back to it hopefully in not a lot of time. So until then, hope to catch up at some point soon. Have a good one, everybody.